What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Kootz. I'm your host, Kootz, and I can't believe we're finally on the second episode. It is a blessing, it's an honor, and I can't explain how excited I am. In this episode, we will cover a little bit about men's mental health awareness, as this month, June, is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Dang. That's a tongue twister. But we will cover that just to share a little bit of my experiences. We will have a guest, and our guest will also share his experiences. As you guys seen in my intro episode, we are trying to positively influence somebody out there. So hopefully, our experiences can help somebody out there. And for today's guest, he wasn't that expensive to get him on this episode. He actually traveled 0 miles. This guy is an inspiration, definitely. He is related to me. It's an honor for him to be related to me. And, you know, this kid is he's just a lovable guy. This guy shoots buckets from downtown. He calls everybody his ball. But let's welcome in, everybody, Suni, a.k.a. MANU. Go ahead and join us soon. What's up with it, bro? Welcome in, big little bruh. Big little bruh.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yes, sir. What's good, soon?
What's good?
Hey, man, careful with the mic. It was expensive.
Yeah, my bad, chat.
Hey, man, I just want to thank you for joining the podcast today and accepting my invitation. It was fairly easy to get you as my guest, but...
Lucky I ain't tagged him, though, chat. You know what I'm saying? Lucky I ain't tagged him. I should have hit him with that MANU tags, though.
Hey, bruh, we on my territory right now. We ain't got chat till later. You feel me? But yeah, man, I really appreciate you taking time to join this episode. I really thought about it, and this month, June, I know we're in the later part of it, but it's nice to know that men are kind of recognized and that we go through a lot every day in and day out. Not just men, but women too. But this month is particularly for men's mental health awareness. And a little bit, just to share a little bit of your talent, see what you got going on. We can let everybody, in on how to follow you and what you got going on. In this beginning for this podcast, you could talk a little bit about your upbringing. You can let people know who you are, and you can let my version of chat, everybody on the other side of this, on the other side of the screen, let them know who you are, what it is you do, like how are we related, and just so everybody knows, because there obviously is going to be people who see this that aren't related to us, to know where we stand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll give you the spotlight. Let you raise the camera if you want. Go ahead, do your thing.
Nah, what's good, chat? My name's Suni. I may know me as MANU. Kootz's dad.
Hey, yo!
I'm Kootz's youngest brother. I'm the youngest of 7 kids.
Hey, 7, bro. 7, bro.
7 kids. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. You know what I'm saying?
But I am the oldest of 7. Suni is the baby of us. He is number 7. Just give a little background, Soon. How was it? How was it being the youngest? I only know how it is being the oldest, the hardest job in the world. You feel me? But how was it to be the youngest?
Being the youngest, yeah. It was funny, but it was also kind of chaotic because I got the best of both worlds. Like, my mom, my dad, they would give me what I wanted, but at the same time, it's like I won at what cost because all other 6 of you guys was all ganging up on me. But at the end of the day, I knew it was all love. That's the youngest sibling experience. You don't get part of the deal. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta deal with all 100%, like all 6 of them.
I could say that too. Like, as the oldest, having to deal with all 6 of y'all. I'm gonna just rephrase what you just said. Pretty much Soon as saying he got everything and I got nothing. Because if we really think about it, like, Soon as number 7, bro, like, the baby's always gonna get what they want. You know what I mean? And then the oldest got to sacrifice. That should be my middle name is Sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I sacrificed then and I still sacrifice now. Like, it's wild that I even got to experience the sacrifices that I have. There's some that people know about, some people that some that you don't even know about, the sacrifices that I made. But it's all love. Like that's who we are, and this is who God made us to be, and how our parents raised us to be. Shout out mom and dad, though. What about that? So we'll give mom and dad a little shout out, man. Just show them a little love, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to moms and pops, though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to moms and pops, though.
Yeah, shout out to moms and pops, man. We can't thank y'all enough. God knew what he was doing when he put us in y'all lives, you feel me? And then y'all in ours, you know what I mean? We ain't nothing without y'all, for real. Give nothing but respect and love to my parents for blessing us with life and just having this group of 7. Because I don't know about you, soon, but I wouldn't be who I am today without y'all. Each and every one of y'all. Like, it has to be the way it is right now. Like, if it wasn't like that, I wouldn't be who I am today, straight up.
Yeah. In some alternate universe, I'm this perfect A+ student, but
What happened to this one, though?
in this universe, I'm not going to get I wasn't so lucky. I definitely do agree. I do agree with that. I feel like every one of my siblings and my cousins all played a role in how I turned out. And I might have turned out bad in your eyes, but I mean, shit, I tried, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely do agree with that.
Yeah.
I really do believe that.
But yeah, it's always. I feel like this is an accomplishment for me because I can't even believe that I'm even getting to interview my little brother. Having him have him come kick it with Kootz one time. He been kicking it with Kootz all his life. Because I was changing diapers at the time and stuff. But
they call it drag by Kootz.
Hey, not too much. Not too much. Go ahead and call it drag by Kootz. It's all good. It's all love at the end of the day, though. You know what I mean? Shout out to Time, though.
Shout out to Time, though.
Shout out to Time, though. You feel me? But, yeah, man, how is being raised in the Bay Area, how was that for you? Has it impacted you? Or, give a little bit, how was being in the Bay? Obviously, everybody knows it's expensive out here. But how was it for you, like being the youngest? I'm sure you've seen your older siblings start working when you were still in school. You know what I'm saying? Like, how has that impacted you, or has it impacted you, or in a positive way, negative way?
Growing up in the Bay was cool. The culture, to the people, the diversity. I love the diversity of it all. It was kind of different for me because I was really the only poly that grew up, like, at least in my area. Hey, shout out Pacifica, though.
Hey, shout out P-Town, man.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely like the diversity of it all, and I can appreciate that. But growing up and seeing my brothers work, like, I was in like 2nd grade. I still remember picking up Kootz from Boston Market with my mom.
Hey, that's what I forgot about that, man. That's how long it's been, bro. I forgot I even worked there, bro. Shout out Boston Market, though, man.
For real.
Cornbread smacking, bro.
Not for sure. And that meatloaf, though. You know what I'm saying? Every time Kootz got up in the whip, you know what I'm saying? I knew I was going to eat good, though.
Yeah, for sure. Dad, you remember that? That's crazy. Soon, I've totally forgot about all that.
Yeah, but yeah, seeing my siblings work at such a young age, it made me want to, it made me want to. It still impacted me, like, even now. Like, it makes me want to do better, think outside of the box. It's all positive things, and it just makes me want to elevate. So I give my flowers to my siblings, and shout out Malia, Vi, Pele, Pookie, Neon. But yeah, and shout out Kootz, you know what I'm saying? Big
love, brother. Yeah, bro. Soon. You were talking about 2nd grade. Was that? I know I went to one of your parent-teacher conferences, though, that one time, man.
Let's get into that. But I think it was 3rd grade. So 3rd grade.
Dang, bro.
I still remember that day.
Hey, don't forget who the executive producer of this podcast is. You gotta be cool, bro. Be cool, bro.
Hey, bro. But I'm just gonna let y'all in. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to give y'all the inside scoop, though. You know what I'm saying? But I remember 3rd grade. I still remember my teacher was like, "Remember, some of you guys still have parent-teacher conferences, all right?" And at this time, my pops was working. All my siblings, some of my siblings were working. My pops was working. So pops couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Pops couldn't show up. Mom's was busy. And Kootz stepped up to the plate. So Kootz walked in the classroom. He was like, "Soon, man." He's like, "If you got some bad grades, I'm going to have to whoop your ass." And I'm just like getting ready, bro. I'm crying before I walk in. But no, for real. I remember we walked in. And Kootz was like, "All right, bro. We here. Like, if y'all hear anything bad, I'm telling Dad." I was like, "All right, bet." So Kootz goes in, we sit down, and she was like, "Hi, my name is Miss So and So."
Yeah, just put it like that.
Yeah. And she was like, "I believe you're Suni's father." And Kootz looks at me, side-eyes me. He's like, "Yeah. I'm Suni's dad."
For sure.
I looked at him like, "What?"
Hey, for sure. Don't leave me hanging, bro. Dang, I'm almost forgetting this damn story, but I knew it happened, but I forgot like the whole like you feel me? I know you remember.
I definitely remember. I remember we sat down and she introduced herself. Kootz was like, "Yeah, I'm Suni's father." And she was like, "Okay, have a seat. Let's get into it." So me and Kootz sat down. She's on the other side of the table, opened the book, talking about my grades. She's talking about reading. "Oh, Suni's doing really good in reading." And he was looking at me like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yeah. I just like, I told you I'm doing good." He was like, "Math, he's doing really good in math." And he's like, okay. And then she goes into history. And she's like, "Suni's doing really good in history too." And he was like, "There you go, Suni." He started dapping me up.
Start dapping you up.
He was like, "There you go, Suni." But that's probably my favorite memory because I remember we walked out, we was just dying, bro. Shout out to Kootz for stepping up. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I remember you told me this story like, I don't know, like 2-3 years ago, and then you told me, yeah, she was talking to you, were just like, oh really? Dang,
Hey, though, bro.
Hey man, I'm married now, but that time though, you know what I mean?
I'm
Lightweight was like I was lightweight in my prime though.
Kootz was definitely cooking.
But you know what's crazy? She don't remember her first year of teaching. Miss whatever her name is. I know her name, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
For like confidentiality purposes. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she just started. Her first year was my 4th grade year. So she don't look old, but she is old.
She don't look old.
Huh? She don't look old at all, bro.
I don't think she worked there no more.
No, but she didn't even recognize me. I didn't have her, but I had another teacher, and like all the grades are in like the same wing, if you will.
Yeah, no, like sometimes they would switch grades, like the teachers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but they know like the 4th grade will know 4th grade teachers, But yeah, bro, I was tripping out. She didn't even recognize me. Like when I came up in there with my work uniform, I walked over there like, "You're Suni's father." And like, bro, I was just here not too long ago. What you mean? Dang. But those were good times, man. And like moms and dad, shout out to them. Like they really raised me to like step in when I could. I was driving at the time. Like moms and dads were both working, like trying to keep the food on the table, the house over our heads and stuff. But shout out to them, and I was glad I got to step in a little bit. See what it feels like being the parent, because you know what I'm saying. Like I told soon though, like right before I was like, "Hey man, if it's bad, I might have to whoop him." You know what I mean? I might have to whoop him.
Better put that belt to ass.
BTA, you know what I'm saying? But luckily, Suni says she said Suni was doing good, so I just had to relay the message, call up pops and moms, like, "Hey, Suni says Suni's in the green, he's doing good and everything." But like those are some memories that like see, like I almost forgot it, and you brought it back up, and it reminded me of everything. You know what I mean? But that's a little bit of our dynamic. It's good to know. There's obviously 2 different views from the oldest to the youngest, right? But see, little things like that stick with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, don't go lie though. Boy, soon dog in 3rd grade, that boy Dome was like. I asked him,
he got that cranium.
That boy said, "LeBron James, bro." No, it's Michael Jordan, bro. Oh, we gotta clip that.
No, that's a clip, bro.
That's a clip. But for real, like, bro, soon, big old Dome, high pitched voice, bro. My goodness, it was so annoying, bro. Good times, bro. Good times. We got so much memories soon. I know if we keep on going, bro, we're not even gonna get to lay down what we was trying to do on this podcast. Like for real, we gonna have to do another episode down the line with the brothers to like, share our like memories. Those reminisce and like talk about the good times. You know what I mean? Like, it is a blessing though that we still live together. You know what I mean? And I'm always here for you. Like, you know what it is, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Always here for you, big dog, But let's just get into let's get into this mental health awareness. Just to let everybody know what a little bit of what mental health is. It's mental health encompasses our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Some examples of mental health conditions or illnesses, if you will, are anxiety disorder, schizophrenia, depression, bipolar disorder. If you or someone you know is struggling with their mental health, it is important to seek help. At the end of this video, we will have a hotline number that anybody who is currently dealing with any mental illnesses, need help, you guys can give this number a call and some professionals will be available for your use. Also, our line for social medias will be open. If anybody out there needs some help with their mental illnesses and mental health, you guys are free to flood our lines of social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We are not professionals, but we have overcome some mental health issues that we dealt with. But we are not professionals. I'm just going to put it out there. We can direct you to the right direction. We can give you some advice, or we can lead you to the professionals. But it is important, and I wanted to make sure that I put it out there so all the viewers know. If anyone if you yourself is going through something, feel free to reach out to all of our social medias. And we'll drop Suni's social medias as well, and he's open as well to either respond or lead you in the right direction, because we want to be that one person that we never had in our experiences, right? Could you relate, Son?
Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah.
Because there's times where I was struggling mentally, and it wasn't nobody around me's fault, but sometimes it feels like, you can't talk about it, or you just feel like you can't reach out to nobody. But you can be in a room full of people and still feel like you can't talk to nobody. Yeah. So please, I beg you, please make that call. Pick up the phone, text somebody you love or a professional. Please get help.
Please get help. We love y'all, man. We love everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way we was raised, right, Son? Like, we love everybody. It's just something that was instilled in us at a young age, Like, if we were raised by the grace of God, by our parents, if we see somebody who needs help and we can help them. No questions asked, and don't worry about confidentiality. Anybody who reaches out to us, it'll be between us. I don't worry about that. Whatever is shared from your end to us will be confidential, will not be going anywhere else other than to the professionals. Okay? So I wanted to let y'all know that. Soon. So as I explained for mental health, some of the things that go on is like depression, schizophrenia, and stuff like that. What was your line of mental health / illness?
I say a little bit of bipolar. I was a little bipolar and depression. I say, like, when I was going through it, like, or even growing up, like, I didn't really know about mental health, like, and I'm not saying that you should expose, like, younger generations to it. I mean, I feel like it'd be a good thing, but just explain it to them at, like, a good age, I don't know if that is for some of you. Some might be 8, some might be 10, 12, but at a young age, I didn't really think mental health was, like, a thing until until I got to experience that firsthand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, like that. Thank you for bringing that up. Before we do move on soon, I just wanted to remind you that how proud I am of you, how far you've come as an individual, not just as my brother, but as a person. I am proud of you. I love you, bro. You know what it is. I remind you every day. And me just saying that line that I just said, for you guys out there, like, if there's something I can tell y'all, is to please love on the people who love you. You know what I'm saying? Tell them you love them. I know our family dynamic at the beginning wasn't really telling each other that we love each other. Like, I don't think it was hidden from us or we were held back from it. I think we just saw past it. You know what I mean? We knew we loved each other, but we never, like, set it in stone, like, oh, we had to tell each other we love each other.
Yeah, and I feel like that goes even deeper. Like, I feel like pause. But I do feel like, obviously we're young and we're still learning.
Yeah.
So we didn't really know how to show it, But deep down inside, we all knew. We all knew what it was.
Yeah, right. We all knew what it was.
We still do.
Yeah, but I just wanted to let you know, remind you how proud I am of you. just in general.
You gotta chill, bro. Make my eyes sweat, bro.
Yeah. It's all good, man. We welcome that here, man. Real men cry. You don't have we don't have to be thugs and try to act like we don't cry. We cry, bro. We have real feelings. That's something that I, at a young age, took it upon myself to not show that side of me at a young age. Like, I try not to cry. Like, if somebody says something terrible to me, like, inside I want to cry, but outside I can't show my weakness. You know what I mean? Remember that one little them little kids, that one meme, strength, no weakness.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of those moments. Like, I'm fighting back tears while people are talking crap to me. Like, I had to show them that, oh, no, it don't faze me. Like, none of that matters, and try to shrug it off. But inside it was killing me though. You know what I mean? But I always try to be like my dad. Dad was like hardcore straight. Like, he was like dad was buff. He still is. You know what I mean? Like, dad was that guy. Like, nothing fazed him. So I try to be like that too at a young age, bro. I'm talking like elementary school time. Like, I'm trying to shrug all this off. Like, I was always fat and chubby, and I was cute as hell, and I still am. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I didn't think he was gonna go that direction, but
I mean, I just had to put it out there. I mean, we some good looking fellas. You know what I'm saying? Like, we blessed. You know what I mean? We blessed. But I had to try to be like dad. Nah, I don't care. Like, call me fat, but I don't care. It don't matter to me. Like, what's up? Let's get down. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Let's get down to it. What's up? That's the way that I was when I was young, bro. Instantly get mad. You know what I mean? Like, violence was the key. Like, I'm about to drop this guy. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Fight. But now, as we got older, and even dad, like in my teen years is when dad got to explain to me, like, it's okay to have feelings. Cry if you have to. You know what I mean? Now I'm at a better state, and I've grown to understand when the appropriate time to cry is and when it's not appropriate to cry. But I'm sure you've went through a phase like that too, soon, right? Like, like you felt like it was an eye opener for you to let your emotions show sometimes, or when it's appropriate.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. At a young age, I've always been emotional as a kid. Like,
Very
I would
true.
cry in class, even if somebody, like you said, like somebody called me fat and shit.
Yeah.
Shit, I was a fat ass. But anyways, I was really emotional as a kid, and I'm still emotional like today sometimes. But showing your feelings ain't gonna make you any weaker.
Nah.
Don't make you any less of a man,
Yeah.
woman.
100.
And it took me a while. It took me a really long time for me to really embrace that.
Yeah.
But
Embrace is the word.
yeah,
Embrace it. Yeah.
you try to fight, like you said, like you trying to play it tough. You could fight all you want, bruh. But
You'll never get that closure, or that you'll never have the outcome that you wanted.
Yeah.
Completely. And that's why I just wanted to share. Like, I always had that I had to be hard, and I don't care what anybody says. Like, but it's okay to cry. Real men cry. I appreciate dad telling me, stop trying to be, Hulk, and like dad would tell me that, chill out. It's okay. Like, you can cry. But one thing dad always did tell me though, he's like, boy, you come home and you lost the fight, bruh. You gonna lose the second fight to me. Hey, bro, don't cap.
No, he did say that.
Oh, don't cap, He's like, if you fight at school, bro, and you lose, oh yeah, you might as well not come home, bro. Don't come home, bro.
Nah, but dad was for real like that though. Like, when we come home, when he's with mom would be like, he got in this fight at school. You need to talk to your son. Now, okay, let me talk to him.
Oh, why you gotta do the accent though? Hey, why you gotta do the accent though?
I had to give y'all the M4NU experience,
Yeah.
or the Polynesian experience. You know what I'm saying? Give you that Polynesian sauce. Anyways, my pops will pull us aside, and he'll be like, "Did you win?" And I'd be like, "What?" And my dad's like, "Did you win? Did you win the fight?" Yeah, I won. He was like, "Okay." And then he'll pretend to yell at us. And then when my mom comes in, she was like, "Okay, you talk to him. That's enough." And then my dad walk away, and he'll be like, "Okay." my boy.
But man, we're talking about how how we grew up, and just look at exactly that example that we gave. Like, you had to be tough. Like, it's okay to cry, guys. In your mental health journey, the issue that you were dealing with, what was it, Soon? You said it was a little bit of bipolar, and then depression, right?
Yeah.
Do you mind if you can go a little bit into detail, like what it is you went through, as far as, I mean, you don't have to share everything. Don't get me wrong, but just get a gist of what is it you went through, that someone out there can possibly be going through, like that you may be able to help them.
Like, so for me, when I first started it, I mean, it's not like you could, start and end it, but in the beginning of it, I say it started like junior year. I was pretty self-aware, and being self-aware, you know what's wrong, and you can tell what's off. And I was just dealing with a lot at the time. We're just getting out of quarantine. I hardly remember some of the people. You're just getting into like being social again. I was always social as a kid. Like I was outgoing as a kid. I have no problem talking to strangers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, like it was hard for me to make friends because I didn't really like talking to people, especially since quarantine. It kind of like isolated you. It was a little bit of that, and just me getting made fun of. That added onto the pile already. So yeah, it was definitely a lot of weight to hold on my own. My family, as I was going through it, they weren't really aware until like I addressed it. And it's not their fault. There's no manual to mental health. There isn't a manual how to get better, and there's no manual on how you walk out of it. So my family, sometimes they blame themselves for me being in that spot. But it was not their fault, Anybody who's going through what I was going through would have felt the same exact way. And I was just going through a lot at that time. Even now, it's a little hard to put into words because it was just a lot. But
you were going through something.
Yeah, I definitely knew I was going through something.
Soon that brings up a good point, because, I mean, I'd like to tell everybody out there, check up on your people. It's not that the people going through things aren't trying to hide it. It's just hard to recognize.
Yeah.
It's hard to recognize, I can speak from my personal experience. I'll be going through something, but I'll still smile.
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
Only a few people could tell something's wrong. Your other half, or sometimes your siblings, but especially your mom or your dad, whichever one you're close to, like the most, would be able to tell that something's up, I mean, you being the youngest, going through all that soon, like dealing with all that in high school, it's like most of your siblings are all older and working. And then so you're going through all these things, but trying to find somewhere to be an outlet. And I'm sure this happened. As much as I helped you, you felt like you would be a burden on one of us, huh?
Yeah, because, like I said, it's a lot to not only like deal with, but it's a lot to talk about. Shout out to my friend, Mateo, Matate, Kolipoki.
Shout out Mateo, man.
But no, me and him, we still talk about mental health like every day. And I feel like, like Kootz said in the beginning, this month is men's mental health awareness month.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister, bro. Trust me, bro.
I feel it should always be that way. I feel like every day should be mental health awareness.
Yeah.
And, not only for men, but for females too. I'm sure there's a lot of females and men going through it. But like I said, like I feel like every day, every month, every year should be around mental health.
Amen,
it's
brother.
very important.
Yeah, like check up on your people, man. Like, just some people need that call. Some people need that text to feel, some people feel lonely. I speak from experience. Like, I've been through depression. And me and Suni are trying to be the people that we needed in those times, those dark moments. We're trying to be that, and we're trying to let y'all know that y'all are loved. Like, even if it's not by your family, you love by us. Someone out here in this world still loves you. And feel free to reach out. Whenever you need help, reach out. Because that was one thing that held me back. I'm the oldest, and part of being the oldest had to do with my depression. You know what I'm saying? I never even told you this. Like, being the oldest, you have to carry the weight, bruh. You have to carry the weight of the family. Like everything weighs on you. You mess up, everybody mess up. Not that I was trying to be perfect or anything, but just in every situation, bro. Like, every situation, I had to make sure that I had to be straight, because my little brother, you're watching, Leo's watching, Wa's watching. I had to make sure that y'all are watching me. So if I go down this path, the left side, although I chose the right, if I went to the left, guess who's behind me? You, Va, and Leo. If I go down this path and I do some terrible things, like make some terrible decisions, you guys are right behind me, and you guys will follow what I do, and you guys will think it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thank God. God guided me through everything. You know, guys, from my personal experience, and I'm sure Suni can share it himself, God was the key. God was the answer. God was the answer. I'm gonna put it right there again.
He was, he is, and he always gonna be the answer.
Hey man, one more time. So one more time for the chat, man.
He was, he is, and he's gonna always be the answer.
Yes, sir. Amen. 100%. Like God is him, was him. You feel me? Like he was the answer. Like literally nothing can make you feel so full.
Yeah. It's like going to a buffet, you know what I'm saying? Like, you going to
Yeah.
plays.
You know what I'm saying? No, like, you know, you can never be overloaded with God. And you can never be overloaded with God. Like, I don't care what nobody say, bro.
You can't get enough.
You can't get enough. Like, God, when you get the power of the Holy Spirit to touch you with just a little sprinkle, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of sprinkle. Like,
yeah, to sprinkle me. You know what I'm saying? God said, so, like, he said, so, I had to sprinkle him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just a little sprinkle, like, wow. You know what I mean? God just did a little sprinkle into that Holy Spirit. That's all you need. If you can experience when God sprinkled, gave you a little sprinkle of the Holy Spirit going through your depression and your bipolar, like what was that like? You know, like I'm just bringing it up to let them know like God is the answer. But so I want to see like if you could share what your experience is when God sprinkled you a little bit with that Holy Spirit, man.
You know, growing up, me and Kootz, we grew up in a Christian Catholic household. For me, I just always felt like going to church was like a job or something. You know what I'm saying? Like we just showing up every Sunday for nothing. But as I got older and I went through this, I did realize that God is real. He's very real. I feel like the first time I really felt that he was listening was just like, you know, just praying and just feeling his presence and just knowing that it's going to be okay. You know, whether it's personally or spiritually, I ask God all the time, like, because I'm an overthinker. You know, I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. I overthink everything.
For sure.
If I ask for something and God says yes, I'm gonna be like, hold on one more time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'd ask him for a sign that I'm going down the right path or that he's giving me the green light. And my siblings were just that. They would always, you know, not just because they're my siblings, but like they always give me words of encouragement or like try to reassure me. You know, reassurance is such a big help, not only to us, but like I feel like everybody needs that. Everybody needs that little reassurance.
Yeah.
Just to, you know, kind of trust themselves and how do I say this? Like decide, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not you necessarily like persuading them to decide, but like it's like I feel like people need that green light.
Yeah.
That's
to move forward, right?
Yeah.
You know, reassurance is, in general, I feel like is definitely needed, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it's you're going through something or not. I mean, everybody's different. Don't get me wrong. Like some people can do without reassurance. Some people need reassurance. But from your personal experience, reassurance was important to you, right?
Yeah.
God is the answer. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. You know, I actually really like that you brought up feeling like going to church was just a job or it was a habit or hobby that we did. Like you go to church and then you're not really involved and you're not gaining the knowledge and the spirit when you go to mass, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you just walk in, you sit down, and like, you know, everybody's like singing and stuff, saying prayers and stuff, and it just feels like you're kind of there.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know, even as a kid, like, I wouldn't laugh, but like, I'd always question why people would cry at church. Like, you know, obviously they're praying in their head, they're praying silently, or they whisper.
Like when
And
they
they're
feel the
crying.
spirit.
I also didn't understand that until I was in their shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like sometimes it could be overwhelming just because of like what you're thinking about or what you're going through. Sometimes it's just to give thanks. You
Yeah.
know, like
You're just really grateful.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Kootz said, like waking up is a blessing. You know, Kootz always
That's
says
the
that.
first blessing of the day, baby.
That's the first blessing right there is waking up. Sometimes you don't want to wake up the next day, but guess what? God said, you ain't done.
Yeah.
You ain't done. You ain't done yet. Every day I open my eyes and I get to see, I get to smell, I get to eat, and I get to walk around this big house.
Yeah.
And I see my family every day. I'm grateful for that because not everybody wakes up, and you know,
100.
I feel like some people take that for granted.
Definitely. I mean, it's a good point you bring up because I know others out there can relate. Like sometimes you're not very spiritually involved, and you're like in church, for whatever religion it is you're in, and everybody has their own journey and reason why that's happening. But I mean, I'm assuming you later on did figure that out and understand why people were crying.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're feeling the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, when the Holy Spirit, you just it'll come up on you like
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. You know what I'm saying? Holy
You hear
Spirit, activate. Activate.
Feel me? Yeah, nah, for real. Like the Holy Spirit will just creep up on you sometimes, and then your emotion, you get all emotional because you're you're either currently going through something, and the Holy Spirit appears and gives you that comfort, or you're just overwhelmed with the love, like the love that you didn't get, you know what I mean, that you were looking for. Like it's crazy how that works. But from my personal excuse me, from my personal experience with mental health and my depression that I was going through, God was literally the answer. Believe it or not, my siblings were the ones who were pushing me to God in that depression. You guys were the ones who told me that you guys seeing a difference in me, like I'm changed, like I'm not the same person I used to be, and you guys started noticing that, like by my actions, I didn't even recognize that I was changing myself. Sometimes you just change, like your thought process changes,
Right?
but you don't realize that your actions are actually affecting people. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, you guys would tell me, like, hey, what's up with you, man? Like, are you okay? Like, you know what? Those moments, I needed to hear y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I needed y'all to care. I needed y'all to care, like, in those moments. Like, I'm holding my tears back right now because I'm thinking back to that exact moment. Like, I needed my siblings, my sisters, my brothers. I needed y'all to check on me. You know what I mean? Just hearing y'all share that y'all cared about me in that moment is exactly what I needed to get through, to the next day. Like, this mental health stuff is real. Depression is real. Like, I don't care what anybody says. The doctors will even tell you this is real. And, as Tongans, we grow up, having to be tough, right? But there's a lack of knowledge in our parents. They don't know much about mental health. They don't know that it exists. Like, luckily, our parents now know it's actually a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Thankfully, now our parents listen to us as we explain what it is. From your experience, right? Mom and dad now know what it means. But you know what? If we didn't teach them to recognize the mental health issues that people would deal with every day, they would just be like, oh no, you're just weak,
Yeah.
like you weak, you're like you're just complaining, you're not grateful, like you're ungrateful, you're weak, you're just
Stop being a bitch.
yeah, stop being a bitch. Like there's so much more soon, like that being Tongan thing, like it's like they don't even believe in it. And I'm not starting this conversation to be controversial or anything. I'm not trying to start nothing, but I'm sure a lot of you Tongans out there can relate that there's been a time you were vulnerable and you're afraid to show that side because you're going to get capped on, you're going to get made fun of by your peers or your siblings, or your parents are going to tell you that, that There's no such thing. You're achy.
Like it's not that big of a deal.
The good old F word, achy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, or palang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to be, for those who are non-Tongans, palang is like trying to be white. Like trying to be only white people go through those problems. Us Tongans don't go through those problems. Come on, bro. We all human. We all bleed. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we didn't explain that to our parents, Suni, they would not understand us. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Like, they would not understand what you went through. They would not understand what I went through. You know what's crazy? They wouldn't even understand what themselves went through.
Exactly.
As individuals.
And mom and dad, they were young parents. Like, I mean, obviously they weren't in high school, but no shade to them. But it's like, mom was only 20. Like, she wasn't even 21 yet.
Yeah.
And I was telling you this earlier. Like, sometimes my mom and dad feel like it's their fault. Sometimes when we're sad or stuff, but we always have, like I said, like reassurance is such a big key, and that's why they feel like a part of them failed us growing up and stuff, and it's not their fault. Like, my mom was only 20, like she was my age, and she had her first kid. Yeah, and she didn't really.
She was 21. She got married at 20.
She got married. Okay, yeah. 21 still, so that's still pretty young. You're what, 2-3 years out of high school. Yeah. And you're just starting to grow up, but some people, like, they don't really get to like fully grow up, or like
or mature. No shade, or they have the kids like young, and then they want to do all the partying that they should have did before they had kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see that a lot.
Oh, I know.
I see that a lot, and I'm not no shade. Yeah, no shade, no judgment. I'm just saying that's how it ends up being. Like, kids will have kids. They didn't get to enjoy the adult life, like going out and drinking and having fun and partying. Like, instead of not having kids at all, everybody's life is on a different path. You know what I'm saying? God has different plans for you, everybody. But I just see it. It's so common that I see it, and I even speak to people that I know personally that tell me, like, oh, I wish, like, I actually got to enjoy being an adult before I had my kids. And I tell them, like, your kids are blessings, that God had different plans for you. But they would say to me, like, if it was up to me, I would have, now that they reflect on it, like, they wish that they had their kids later so they can enjoy drinking. Because now, instead of drinking at 21, they're instead changing diapers at 21. You know what I'm saying? While still trying to figure out what the living situation is.
Find a balance.
Yeah, like balance, like life in general. Life by itself is hard, but having a kid is hard too, But you can't stop God's blessing. You can't. That's one thing you can't do. Amen. One thing you cannot do is stop God's blessing. No judgment in that aspect. But going back to being Tongan, like, I'm not sure why our people and are so closed off like that. Like, they don't even let mental health be. They don't. It's not like, I'm trying not to make a hot take, bro, because I already know.
No, I get what you mean, though.
I'm not trying to make it a hot take, bro, where, like, I get so much feedback and, like, negative feedback from the viewers. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for controversy right now. But I know our people, it's in our people, like, to stop being, fiapalangi, like, stop trying to be people you're not. Like, we're Tongan, we don't have those issues. We're never depressed, Like, there's even women out there that, like, go through postpartum depression but don't know about what it even is. They're dealing with it, but they don't know what it's called. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they're afraid to tell their parents, or they're afraid to tell family, because they're going to just make fun of them, or they're going to just tell them, like, you're tripping.
Yeah. And, from my own personal experience, like, mom, she's like a mix, right? Like,
Yeah.
She had a grandma who's Tongan, she's straight from Tonga. And then she has a husband that's straight from Tonga, right?
Yeah.
And, in the midst of it all, like, I didn't know how to feel about it. I didn't know how to talk about it. And the one person I was scared to talk about was dad. Because not because of dad, like, he's a bad person.
Yeah.
But it was just because I'm sure dad wasn't raised that way.
Yeah.
Like you said, like, their old dad was hardcore, like, old school. And he tried it and it didn't work. Like, sometimes it didn't work.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful now, like, the big 25, I get to actually have like conversations about mental health with my dad. And I was scared for a really long time to tell my dad about how I felt. Not because he did anything wrong or anything, but just because like your dad, like you see your
The
dad.
superior.
Yeah.
Like he's the big dog, and you're not supposed to tell him how you feel, like if you're upset with him or something like that.
Yeah, like you see your dad like working, not complaining at all.
Yeah.
And you know they're dealing with stuff, but like at the same time you really don't.
Yeah.
Because they hide it. And that's why mental health is important. I'm so big on mental health, and it's really, really important to me and my family. Like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't important.
Yeah.
But
Respect.
yeah, like it was raising being raised by a father, or fresh off the boat.
Hey, all you gotta do pop like that, big dog. Dang.
My pops be trying to speak English sometimes. Like, LeBron.
Oh,
Let me cool down.
He watches this, bro. Like,
Let me cool off of my dad. No, but like
that boy said LeBrons. Hey, shout out Dad, man. Shout out Dad with this van machine head ass boy.
But I remember, like, you could be like fighting everybody. Like, it could be you versus the world. My dad would still find a way to make you laugh.
Yeah, bro.
Sometimes it's unintentional.
That's where you get your humor from, bro. Like, my dad hella funny, bro. Like, don't let him tell you a joke in English, bro.
I be posting my dad on my story. Everybody be like, bro, y'all need to make more videos, bro. And I'm just like, bro.
Hilarious, bro. That's funny you brought that up, because I experienced that, but I didn't know how to put it into words. That was a great point you just brought up. Like you wanted to tell dad how you felt, but you're afraid because you don't know how he's gonna react. Like how he's gonna react to you telling him, Dad, I'm upset with you because you did this or you did that. Like you couldn't tell him your feelings, like because you assumed, right away.
I assumed.
He's from Tonga. He's hardcore, that he's not gonna understand or he's not gonna take it well. You know what I'm saying? Like, but really, I mean, thankfully now, obviously now we could have that conversation with Dad and he'd understand us fully, because, like I told you at the beginning of this topic,
if we didn't
tell him, they would tell us we're Fiat Palangi, we're Fiat Achy, we are Tongans don't deal with that. We don't got depression,
Depression.
Yeah.
Depression?
Spelangit depression. Spelangit depression. The depression ego, eh? You know what I mean? Like those kind of things. You know what I mean? Like, nah, for real, bro. I know if you guys out there can relate. I don't know what it is. It's the lack of knowledge.
Yeah, it is.
They don't know.
Lack of knowledge.
This is science too. This stuff is studied. This mental health stuff is studied, guys. Like, of course, nothing outbeats God, but this is science. Like that's what they don't understand. Like, by the grace of God, when we spoke, they listened. Our parents listen. You know what? Because you know what, Soon? I know you could agree. When we had to speak, they listened to us, bro. Like, they gave us a chance to speak. There were times where Dad, like at our young age, like Dad doesn't listen to us because we're too little. Like he's not trying to listen to us because he's like, y'all just was born yesterday. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. And in that moment, we didn't know what we was talking about. But when we got older, they listened. They sat down and actually took into consideration what we had to say. You know what I'm saying? That's when the dynamic changed.
Yeah, that's when
they were open for more conversation. That's when they were, it's one thing to give your effort in your words, but it's another thing for them to accept.
Yeah.
And when you give and they don't accept, it's a waste of time.
Yeah. They're not budging. Yeah. They're not going to budge.
You know what I'm saying? We can feed them as much as we want, but if they're not accepting it, what is it?
Yeah.
It's just like talking to a wall. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
But by the grace of God, our parents listen. Listening is, like Dad says, listening is not a hard thing to do. Like there's times where I talk with you about some non-serious stuff. There's listening, and then there's acting like you're listening. You know what I'm talking about? Like I'll be listening, like comprehension, right? The comprehension of it, listening and comprehending. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll tell me something, and then I'll be like, yeah. When you hear 3 yes, I ain't hear shit. You know what I'm saying? That's not listening. You know what I mean? But if you can tell me something and I can run it back to you, I heard what you said. You feel me? But that's just a little something that I wanted to put out there. So if y'all hear me say yeah 3 times consecutively, I ain't heard the damn thing you just said. I'm just saying yomp. You feel me? I say yeah or yomp. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna just put it out there. Like I'm gonna just be real. Like I'm just be real. Like I mean yomp. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Guys, if you're out there, viewers, if you would like to have a conversation with your parents, if they allow it, please let them know that this mental health is real. Let them know that there's actually things like you could look it up online. There's information online, videos on YouTube about this stuff. You can show them. Our job is to educate our parents about this stuff because right now they don't know anything. They they only know what they were raised with.
Exactly.
Back in the
They only
70s,
know what they were taught.
When Pop was born, like he didn't know about that. You know what I mean?
That was back when the dinosaurs was alive, though. You know what I'm saying? That was back. That was BC, bro.
That is wild, bruh. But back then they don't remember. Like I told you, it was just like a set thing. Like I'm hardcore. This is how it is. This is how it is. This is how it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Feelings didn't matter.
Yeah, it was nowhere in that equation.
You know what? I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this, but I could assume if things were like that, how were marriages? Like if things were so straightforward like that, like I wonder how marriages were like back then. Like was it really love, or was it just let's have kids together and then just keep having kids together?
Like you said, like it I feel like a lot. Some cultures now still do it, but a lot of marriages are mostly like arranged. Or might be talking to somebody they really love.
Yeah.
And their family don't really approve of the person because they might, have low status or they making that much money. And then there's the person that like the mom's or the mom's friends with the mom or and then they have a and this guy's like loaded with money, bro.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh yeah, let's just throw you in here. Let's just throw you in the fire. Hope you don't get burned.
Yeah.
And then that doesn't work out. But I mean, like you said, like I really do wonder how it was back then. But I'm sure most of them were arranged.
Damn, see? Look at me learning from the young life, Like that's another thing I learned as being an older brother, like listening,
Yeah.
Like remember when we were younger? Oh, I don't want to hear nothing y'all got to say. Y'all was born yesterday. Y'all don't know how to use y'all don't even know how to wipe yourselves. Don't tell me none. You feel me? Like y'all still wearing diapers and y'all still act like you guys had the courage to talk to me like that. Like little boy. You know what I mean? that was my mentality. But you can only, as I've grown to be who I am today, like as I got older, as you got older, as all the little siblings got older to me, I started to listen. I learned a lot from you guys, because I opened myself to listen. If I stayed closed off like that, the lack of knowledge, I wouldn't know that I could learn something from you guys because I didn't allow it,
Yeah, like I feel like since, at a young age, I learned a lot. And then most of it was just from listening. Like you said, like you can really learn a lot from just listening. If you just shut your ass up and sit down, bro, like you'll learn a lot, bro. And it may not seem that way. Like you might think people are dumb, but you might learn a thing or two if you just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sit this one out. You know what I mean? Chill. Yeah. I really learned a lot from my younger siblings. It's crazy to say, but I learned a lot as being an individual and just being an older brother. Like I learned so much. But let's close up this Tongan topic. Again, all the things we said about being Tongan, that's on y'all, how y'all take it. I'm not here to make it controversial, but I know y'all can relate,
Yeah, we just shedding light on it,
Yeah, we're just shedding light on it, and we're also bringing it up because we want you guys out there who are currently dealing with it to inform your parents. There's a lack of knowledge in it. The reason why they don't know it exists because they don't know. They never heard about it. They never learned about it. It's your job. It's our job to to push the information to them, to show them that it exists. So then when it's their turn to parent, they'll understand how to parent accordingly to your feelings, or know that feelings are real, like sometimes your parents, there's a difference between discipline and abuse, right? Like sometimes kids would rather be hit with the belt, than verbally like cussed out, or like for example, or some people, some people would rather get verbally abused than get physically abused. Well, discipline. I'm not going to use abuse, like unless it is that, but that's totally different ball game. But you know what I'm saying? Like some people, the verbal and physical is very dependent on the individual. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the parents will totally like neglect the idea of your feelings. They're gonna say what they say. You're saying it with love, but to you, you're not accepting it with love. You're just, oh, I'm just a crumb of the earth. Like, they say the terrible things, but the way you're accepting it is not with love, right? Mm-hmm. And that's when it becomes a problem. Like you have all these built up anger and feelings towards your parents, but you can't tell them because they don't know what.
Yeah, they don't even know they don't even know you are. Like they don't know how you feel. They don't know where you stand.
They don't know where you stand.
They ain't even thinking about it, but you are.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not even thinking about it, but that's the last thing on their mind is how you feel. But you're thinking about it. You sit there thinking about it.
Like that streamer Ray said, dead ass, bro. But dead ass, bro. Nah, for real.
What's to my mother?
Guys, there's a lack of knowledge in it all for our Polynesian parents, and it is important for us to do our jobs by informing them, giving them the information, giving them the that these things do exist. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we don't tell them, they will not know. They will not know and still ignore you, and they will still.
It's just like when you teach them how to use like TikTok or something. Yeah, they don't know how it works, so they'll ask you. Yeah. Sometimes they won't ask you.
Hey, fair TikTok. Oh, mom, you just go here, swipe here. Well, I'm not going to use mom because mom was born in America.
But like sometimes they'll be like,
but my dad though.
Yeah, my dad be like, can you fix my phone?
I'm like, Dad, what the heck? And, he's like, it was so hard for him to transition from Android to Apple. Oh,
swipe up.
Oh, no. Even another thing. Soon, he always wants to FaceTime. I'm like, I just woke up, I didn't even brush my teeth, and my hair is all messy. My
eyebrows still getting crusty.
I'm like, bro, I got boogers in my nose. I'm like, my eyebrows, my eyes. I'm like, bro, always wants to FaceTime, like all the time. I'm at work, calls me FaceTime. I'm like, bro. I'm like,
I know.
We need to put bro back on that green text message. Huh?
No, for real.
Dang. But that's a good analogy, Soon. Like, that's a good example. If we don't instill the importance of the mental health or present it to our parents, they will not know and they will stick to what they're doing. Exactly. That's how the cycle can be broken. If your parents are willing to listen to what you have to say, and if they're willing to take this knowledge that's being studied by doctors, by psychiatrists. Like these things are real. People took time to study this and give them the information, like let them know that this is real. Once your parents have a better understanding, it'll be easier for them to understand your feelings. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
You feel me?
I feel you. Yeah. Do you feel him, sir?
That's crazy. All seriousness, like, let's close it by agreeing that there's a lack of knowledge, right, Soon?
Yeah. No, they're most definitely, but like he said, like they only know what they learn, and I'm sure their parents were that way too. So it's like it's generational,
Yeah, and we can break that by telling them. Exactly. Let's break it right here. Even if you're in Tonga watching this, you can still tell your parents too respectfully. There's a difference. You can tell your parents negatively and have them receive it negatively, or you can tell them respectfully, like.
I know. Sit down.
Sit down.
Have a cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying?
I know everybody's dynamic is different, but if there's advice that we're trying to give, it's to inform your parents that this exists. Mental health is real. We have feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like our feelings are valid too. don't you agree that a lot of the feelings that we build up, it feels better when we let it out?
Oh yeah. Whether it's a cry, a scream, or even
A punch in the wall or something.
Punch in the wall, vent, it don't matter, bro. As long as you get it out, bro, it feels like, the weight of the world is just off your shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, it really does feel a lot better when you talk about it. And I talk to Kootz about some stuff that I be going through sometimes, and he listens. Like, it's not like he's like, Kootz is like, oh yeah, you should do this and this. Nah, like Kootz ain't shrugging it off, bro. And he do be giving me advice too. It's really good advice, But like he said in the beginning, like, it's really just trying to be there for your brother, friend, sister, cousin.
Yeah.
Because you wish that somebody was there for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree with that. Like you said, it's not a hot take, but genuinely just inform your parents.
Yeah.
Because it's very important.
Yeah. It's very important, guys. That's how we as brothers were able to have our parents understand what it is we were going through. This was not a long time ago. This was actually recent.
Very recent.
Very recent that my parents are now aware, to be aware of our feelings and know that depression is real. And you know what's crazy? My parents can now recognize what they went through in the past and actually call it something.
Yeah.
Call it something. It has a name. Everything they went through, it has meaning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know they went through some things in the past that they didn't show us, that they went through as individuals, but now it has a name, That's all thanks to us, us seven, talking to our parents. We all went through something. And for them, now they can easily recognize it, and now they're so accepting of our conversation, our feelings. Before it was disregarded. Now they know it's real.
They understand it.
We're tonguing. We're tonguing and we still got feelings. You know what I mean? If we got feelings, we tonguing, and we got feelings, and we go through some depression, and we go through bipolar disorder, we go through schizophrenia and all those things. You know what I'm saying? Wow, I just get so riled up because, I feel like for these people out there,
it's okay to be passionate.
Yeah, I'm passionate.
I get it, bro, because we were there. You know what I mean? And we just now breaking that, we breaking that roof or that little threshold of getting our parents to understand.
Yeah. And now we can talk to them about anything.
Exactly.
And they consider our feelings. Like I said before, if we did not tell them what it is, show them the facts of what was studied, show them that, depression is real, show them that you can go through depression, you can be bipolar, and show them that there are cues to this stuff. They should be able to easily recognize when your child actions change, or their demeanor, or their voice, or you know what I mean? There's something going on, and they can easily recognize it, and they can give us the love that we need.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents always give us love.
Always.
But in these cases, it's the love that we need. Sometimes you need to be loved in a different way for you to feel like complete.
It's like how do you say it? Like, that's why love languages are a thing, some people like gifts, some people like outings, some people like
touch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If us tongues be touching in public, they'll be like, you know what I mean? That's like taboo. Like, you can't do that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, you can't do that, bro. Like, you finna get beat up by everybody. Like, if I go around walking my girl, like, you my mic. You know what I mean? Like, in front of everybody, like, it's bad, bro. Like,
no mic is down, man.
You know what I'm saying? But in all seriousness, like, as far as the love language aspect that you brought up, that's a good point. You know, good. Appreciate that comparison. So, guys, again, I'm putting it out there right now. Just inform your parents. We're only repeating it because we went through this as individuals. But really, like, take a minute to do some research. Sometimes you can just do all the research for like however long it takes you, and then lay it down on them. Yeah. Because they gonna follow up with some questions, but you have to have the answer in order for them to believe you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You gotta come prepared, bro. You gotta come with the stats.
You gotta do your homework.
Stats right here.
You gotta do your homework. I'm glad that we got this episode in soon, that we can we can talk about mental health and we can express how real it is, and we can tell them how it was for us and how we got through it, obviously by God. You know what I mean? Shout out God. Shout out God one time, you know what I mean? All the time. But we got through it with God, and we got through it by doing our homework and research and explaining it to our parents. Um, we all have different personalities, us seven. You know what I'm saying? Like, Suni's different from me. We also have similarities, but we're also very different at the same time.
Yeah, because dude, like growing up with 6 siblings is not like normal, but I mean, obviously, it's gonna be normal to use if you grow up with 6 siblings. So it's like I take it like a piece of my siblings, like, and I just mush it together.
Yeah.
You know,
By the grace of God, we were able to tell them, and they listened. Now, it's up to them. It's up to them to listen to us. They could have totally ignored us, and we told them, we did our homework and told them all these things, and they could have ignored what we had to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I'm glad we got to get this episode in, and we got to talk about our experiences with mental health, and we are just sharing with you guys. So the goal of this podcast is to positively influence somebody. If me and Suni's journey can help y'all in any way, we did the right thing. You know what I mean? 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just had to yeet for that one. You know what I mean? We had to, hey, shout out to Usos, man.
Hey, shout out to Jay, though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hook me up with some tickets, though. You know
What's up with a little t-shirt, though, if y'all make it in my songs? You feel me?
Yeah, what's good with that, though? You know what I'm saying?
Good with a
little autograph. You know what I'm saying?
Putting it out there, you know what I mean? We don't know. That'll wrap up our mental health a discussion. We just wanted to share our experiences. If it could positively help somebody, then we did our job. Let's go right into it soon. Like, a little bit about what you got going on right now. What you up to, soon?
You know what I'm saying? I'm a full-time streamer. You know what I'm saying? Part-time brother, part-time cousin. You know what I'm saying? Family man.
Part-time unk too.
Yeah, part-time unk too. Shit, I lucky forgot.
Show out.
Hey, Monica, we said.
Hit him with a little wrist, huh?
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's good with that though?
Well, tell them what you got going on, what's your vision, and this is your chance, bro. I'm giving you your shot right here. I mean,
all right, it's my time to shine. All right, so Chad, I'm a Tongan streamer from the Bay Area, the BAY. You know what I'm saying? Specifically from Pacifica. My vision, I'm just trying to put us on the map. You know, I feel like Tongans, Samoans get recognition, but I feel like, Tongans low key slept on. Not everybody know what a Tongan is. Everybody be like, you Samoan? I'll be like, nah, Tongan. What's a Tongan?
Hey, no shade though.
Yeah,
no shade on the Usos.
I love my Usos though. You know what I'm saying? Especially the Usos sisters though. You know what I'm saying? For real, I love my Polynesian women with a little bit of melanin. You know what I'm saying? But
why?
They got that melanin.
I know. How you like your barbecue?
Oh, I like my barbecue burnt. Sometimes I like my barbecue burnt, baby.
Darker the berry, sweeter the juice, right?
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, Chad, y'all go check out my page. I'll be live almost damn near every night. But as of now, I'm in the process of moving. So y'all show me a little grace. But the vision is ultimately just to showcase my ethnicity and put my people on the map. You know what I'm saying? Polynesian, Samoans, Tongans, all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I see like Kyson that and he's putting on for his people, and I respect that. But I'm coming different. You know what I'm saying?
I don't respect that. You didn't get on Streaming University. I don't respect that. No, I'm just kidding.
He right though. You know what I'm saying?
That's clear.
He didn't even decline me, bro. I didn't even get nothing.
Yeah. I just think it's, let's leave that for another day.
Hell nah. That's a good thing you brought it up. No, just but yeah, like my ultimate vision is just to elevate my people, put God first always, and just know that you ain't got to sell out to make it, dude. Like you put God first, and anything is possible. And I started to see that now. Like I'm slowly starting to climb up. I'm probably like near 200 followers now. But I'm starting from scratch, bro.
Yeah.
Like I ain't got no
all natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then buy
No
no
BBL.
followers.
No BBL. You know what I'm saying? What? No. It's all natural though. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, this generation is cooked, bro. This generation is cooked. How you just said no BBL? I just got that, bro. I just got that. That is crazy, bro.
No, but you know, like I'm pouring
Dude.
everything I got into this shit. Like, you know, I just turned my subscriptions on like a month and some change ago, and I made $300 off that. You know like
a harder 300.
Yeah, like 300 is like pocket change or something, y'all. I'm sure, but off of something you love, like that's like it feel like 3,000. You know,
yeah,
300,000.
Well, for real. Keep going soon. You know, we're definitely gonna drop Soon's all his social media and how you guys can follow him on Twitch and subscribe. And you know, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. You know, you seen something that you wanted and you went for it. You know, like you really went for it. Like you full throttled that.
Yeah, because I don't see too many of us out there.
You already know what it is. Like we here to support you, and I'm proud of you for what it is you do. And if it makes you happy, that's another thing. You know, that's another thing that I'm sure me and the siblings, I mean, the rest of the siblings can agree, especially our parents too. If it makes you happy, why not?
Yeah. And you know what I told Dad? I was like, oh yeah, Dad, I want to do what he's doing. Like I want to just go and sit in front of a camera all day and just be funny. You know? My dad was like, what kind of bullshit is that? And I was like, Dad, he makes like millions of dollars. And Dad was like, just by sitting on his ass, like he's like, dude, I've been wasting my time. I could have been doing this. I was like, yeah. I was like, Dad, they make really good money. And he was like, you think you could do that? I remember I was like, hell yeah, I could do that. My dad said, let's go. Go to the store. My dad buys me my first PC, you know?
And that wasn't no cheap one. He didn't buy you no raggedy one.
Yeah. Not OfferUp, not Facebook Marketplace.
You know what? I'm not too hip about computers and all that. But when I seen that G thing light up, I was like, oh, dang.
I know, man.
That boy had that rainbow coming out of it. I was like, yo, what kind of gamer PC is this?
No, for real. I remember like, even I'm new to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to get my tech geek cousin to come and help me. Shout out to Alf though.
Shout out Alf, man.
I'm not degrading you by saying you a tech geek because you helped me.
Yeah,
that's a compliment.
That's a flex, bro. That's a big flex.
And he built his own PC.
Yeah, from the ground up.
Yeah, like brick by brick.
Yeah.
You know, like it's crazy to see because like when I got it, he was like he was helping me put it together, and he was like, "Dude, I got to get one now." And I was like, "Yeah, you have to." I was like, "Dude, you really know how to like use all this stuff." He helped me hook up my webcam, my microphone, my speakers. He knew how to update all the everything and and change the colors and stuff. Like that's the stuff that I needed it for.
I'm gonna just put it out there for Alf, man. If y'all need somebody, you know what I mean, with a little IT work, man, my boy could do it for the little fee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not free, bro. Luckily he didn't charge me, but he might charge you.
It was on the love, huh?
Yeah, it was. He definitely did it out of love because shit like that shit. Like he definitely gonna tax you, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. And he should, you know what I'm saying? As he should.
Hey, but shout out Pop for getting you started on your journey, bro.
I know.
Like, you know, it was just random. He said, you think you could do that?
Yeah, because like I remember like I wasn't doing nothing. Like,
yeah.
You know, like I just dropped out of college and my pops was like, bro, like what is you doing, bro? Like like what is you doing, bro? Like you can't play games your whole life. Like what you doing, bro? And I was like, shit, that's an eye-opening moment. I'm like, shit, I ain't doing shit right now.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, what you want to do? You know, and he asked Kootz what he wanted to do, and this is what he wanted to do. And he looked at me and he was like, what you want to do? Because I'm on YouTube, right? It just happens to be me watching Phantom. And I'm like, Dad, I could do that. Right? Hey, shout to Phantom though. You know what I'm saying? If you want to collab, please hit me. Anyways, I was watching Phantom going live. I think he was in LA. And my dad was like, you think you could do that? I'm like, hell yeah. So my dad, here I am with the PC. Very expensive one. It wasn't no pocket change. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that was a whole stack right there. That's a whole plus the speakers and the webcam too. The webcam was expensive too, bro. Yeah. I was like, damn.
Hey, You know what? I can't shout out Pops enough because he really seen the vision like that we had, and he seen that we were passionate about it.
Yeah.
So not that I asked him, or not that you asked him.
I didn't even ask him.
Yeah, like we didn't even ask, but he seen that we were for real about it. So then that's why I'm sure that's why he took the initiative to go and just get it for us, because he was like, then why wait for tomorrow then?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You crack it right now.
Yeah. And like, even when I was getting it, I was so like scared. Just not because of what people would think, but just because of like I'm really self-aware of how I look and stuff, Like I know I can see every day I look in the mirror and I see all the little, you know what I'm saying, all my imperfections. But my dad, he's a big reason why I turned my face camera on, and so is Kootz, bro. Shout out to Kootz though, you know what I'm saying? My pops, I remember he bought it and I didn't use it for like maybe almost a month. And my dad was heated. He was like, bro, that shit ain't cheap. He's like, you better hurry your ass up and hook it up before I go return that shit. Or you was like, yeah, it's literally the best way I can put it. My dad was like, hook that shit up for that shit go outside. Like, and I was like, oh shit, like how do I tell him? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, here we go again.
That boy said, you better hurry up and turn that on and put it to you, so I'm gonna return it. You have to get on the corner.
Exactly. Oh. The fact that I almost fell for that, bruh. You crazy, bruh. But no, for real, like Kootz and my dad, and like my family as a whole, like my in-laws, my parents, my siblings, my nieces, like they're all a big reason of why I started. And the ultimate goal of it all is I just want to move my family, get them some houses, some cars. That's the vision. But some people might say it's impossible or it's not gonna happen. But I seen God work so many ways with so many people, and it's like God really did, bro. And yeah. I truly do. I believe that I can do this shit by not selling out and all that stuff. That's another discussion for another day.
For another day. Yeah.
But like I said, shout to my best friend for being my mod. Hey, shout to Vonnie, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vonnie for all the plug. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, shout out Vonnie, bro.
For real. W mod, though.
W mods, bro.
And shout out to Mattel, too, for being the mod. But I really appreciate everybody for tapping in. Like I said, I'm starting from scratch. I had no collabs yet. But, I haven't had any collabs, or like I don't have friends in this field. But I really do plan on taking this shit forward. And the game is only advancing. It's only going up, and kind of them are doing some crazy shit. Like, it's crazy. I know I could take it further than that. And
you got it, Soon. Like I said, we're going to drop all Suni's socials over there. Please follow him on Twitch. Subscribe. You know what I mean? It'll help Suni out with his streams, and y'all just tap in, bro. He's a funny individual. It's just hilarious. You might catch me on there too sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Your boy Kootz be on there too. I just show a little love, a little support, you know what I mean? I see the vision, bro. He's hungry and he's out there trying to get it. But before we go soon, is there anything you would like to let everybody know, whether it's something motivational or just something you want to leave them with? Just let everybody know, like something motivational or whatever it is. Look, bro.
Cue the music. I'm just playing. But nah, for real.
What? Hold on. We're gonna close it out like stream, bro. You know what? I have it right here too. I think I'm already hooked up too. Yep, I'm already hooked up right here. Let's get it. You know what, guys? Give me a second. We're gonna actually close this out like soon closes out his streams. We're gonna do it in the MANU fashion, bro. Hold on.
Oh, let me look it up right quick.
In MANU fashion.
All right, chat. In this case, another day, another motherfucking banger. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Kootz man here. For real, I just want y'all to know that you guys are truly loved, that you matter, you're important to somebody, and you mean something to somebody. All right? Forget what they talking about. Forget what everybody on the outside looking in talking about. You on the inside, what's going on? I love you. You're important. They are prayers. Yeah, just keep being you, man.
You are very important, and your uniqueness is what makes you you. So embrace it, no matter what it is. Yeah, chat. Like I said, my father Balboa, and stay locked in, stay hungry, and chase your dreams. Because that's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It might not work, but hey, I'm out here trying. You feel me?
On everything. Let me get in here while I can. Chat. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Appreciate everybody who supports this video, supports this podcast. I'd like to give a special shout out to God, always giving him thanks and praises for everything that we have, and we wouldn't be here without him. Can't stop thanking God enough. We woke up this morning. Remember that, guys. I'd also like to shout out my wife. Thank her for
Every busy chat though.
Appreciate her support and just always looking to make me a better person every day. Try not to get emotional, but shout out Suni. Shout out Suni. Shout out MANU, man. Shout out.
Thank you for having me, Brad. Thank y'all for having me, bro. I love y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate you for joining the show today. Just blessing everybody with some knowledge. Like showing them that that we're some good people and we have some good feelings too. And just letting everybody know that if y'all out there going through something, anything that has in regards to mental health issues, please feel free to reach out to us. We're gonna drop the number for the call line. If you or someone out there is dealing with this, please feel free to call them. You are always welcome to always come to the Kicking It with Kootz Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You guys can always drop us a message, man. We're here to listen. And if we can get you right, we'll put you in we'll lead you in the right direction and get you to the professional. If y'all can't get through to the line, feel free to, we're always here. We're gonna drop Suni's socials too, and he's available too. We're here to listen.
Tap in.
Mental health is real. Mental health is real, so you gotta remind these people, take advantage of all your resources. You got people out there waiting to help. Doctors, psychiatrists, and all that. We here. We got regular people like me soon. Here to listen. Let's get you in the right direction. We're not professionals, so we put it right now. But we went through some stuff too ourselves. And, if you're out there, come fuck with us, man. We love everybody. I appreciate shares love, shows love. Please, I advise you guys to like, share, and subscribe to this video. It's the Trinity. Like I said in my last video, you know what I'm saying? And I can't thank y'all enough for always being present. I'm not here to do this for fame. I'm not here to do this for clout. I'm here to do this for fun. It's because do another episode. It's been another day. It's another episode. And me and Suni signing. So we appreciate y'all for coming through and kicking it with Kootz Pecking. Peace. Yay. 4 letters go. 1 word. Yeet. Ding it up. Yee.